is up, guys? My name is Aaron, and today I'm coming across to you here talking to you about mobile photography. So, today I'm talking to you about 5 basic tips that you can actually take a look into to improve yourself using your mobile phone. So, let's say it's a case you're taking a photo of your friend, your family. Maybe you're doing a small business and you just have your phone to showcase your art or your creativity. Let's say you're just going ahead and take a product photography or whatever field of photography that you're doing. And you just have a phone that you can start out with because you're on a budget or you just want to start a small business and you want to use your phone. So today I'm going to go ahead and showcase and just notify you of 5 basic tips that you can actually take a look into to improve yourself and to take awesome photos. So let's get right into it. All right, so the first tip that I actually recommend that you should take a look into, and this is actually one tip that I see a lot of person take for granted, but actually they haven't even take a look into this. And this is provided on cameras that are basically even this current time of cameras that I used. And that main important tip is using your grid on your phone. So you're wondering what the grid is. The grid is basically like a path or a little help for you, rather the assistant for you to take photos in a good position. And what that means is there are most cases that you take photos and sometimes the person is a little bit out of the grid and you're wondering like, hey, where can I find the grid? Where's the grid located? All right, so the grid is like an area that has a portion of certain lines, which includes it has a horizontal, two horizontal line and two vertical line. Within those two intersections, that is the point that you don't want to get the photo or the subject out of. You don't want to get it out of that zone. And those intersections are like a guide to have those subject or the person you're taking or whatever you're taking to be in that centered area. Also, the grid can help you to help in accompanying to help out with your photo being in a nice centered position. So most of the time, sometimes we take photos, and most of the time we pick up the phone and we take the photo. When we're taking the photo is slant. It's not exactly straight. So the grid can help you to get the photo itself centered and also the subject you're taking into the center position with square intersection of where basically is located on the phone. Now, where can you actually get that grid to show up on your phone? If the grid is not showing up, then you can go into your settings. Once you go into the camera, you can go ahead and have the grid shown on your screen just by having it approved. It should show when you're taking the photo. So using the grid can actually help you to take better photos in the case of your composition. All right, so the second tip that you should actually take a look into is your lighting. Now, what I mean by your lighting is most phones and compared to the phones in this modern time has a way that you can adjust the lighting, which is awesome, which is great. Which means if you go on your phone and you just click your phone, there's a way you can turn up the brightness or you can turn down the brightness. Majority of the time, what this means is you basically can set your lighting to what works best in the area that you're at. So let's say you're in a very, very bright area. You can go ahead in that bright area and you can turn down that lighting and get the lighting adjusted to what you like. Let's say in a very dark area, then you can go in that dark area, you can press the screen, scroll up the brightness and scroll up. Once you scroll it up, the picture will get brighter and you can adjust it to what lighting you like. So basically all you can do when adjusting that lighting, touch the screen. Once you scroll up, the brightness goes up. Once you scroll down, the brightness goes down. And this can be done into what preference you like. So you can make the adjustments into what you like. However, these are all just in your preference. If you're in a very bright area and you want to turn it down to just a little bit lower, but you still want it bright, you can do all those adjustments just by scrolling up and scrolling down. All right, so the third thing I recommend that you should also take a look into is your focus. Now, most times when you go ahead and take a photo that's just provided early in the first note, if you're going to go ahead and take a photo of an object and you just go ahead and put the phone on that object, chances are it will autofocus, but you also can make adjustments by making that photo a little more sharp and having that autofocus locked. All you can do, click that object. Once you click that object, then you can hold down on that object and you will see where it autofocus. Depending on the phone you're using in these modern times and in this modern generation, in this time zone that we're in now, most phones, and I would say majority of the phones that are mainly used in this world, we have the access to autofocus. So you can autofocus and lock that focus. You also have phones that can do manual focus. So when you go up to that option, it will not focus. You can set that focus for yourself in what preference you like. So if you're using a phone like I'm using here at this moment, my iPhone, you can go to that focus. Chances are we'll autofocus, but you also can lock that focus. Once you lock that focus, then when you take the photo, the person will be deck sharp in that photo, and that object or person that you have taken will be showing more in the photo, and the background will be blurred out. Now this also can come in effect if you're closer to the object. Now the further you're away from the object, then chances are that depending on the phone you're using, most phones in this time will not exactly have it blurred out, but you can still get great photos and you can still have that object sharp in the photo as long as you lock that focus. So the fourth thing that I recommend you should also take a look into is what position are you taking this photo in? And then you're wondering, like, what do I mean? All right, what do I basically mean is, let's say you're gonna go ahead and take a photo of the same object. Are you gonna take it in the portrait position, or are you gonna take it in the landscape position? And you're wondering, what do I mean? Well, you have the landscape position, which when you turn the photo, it will look directly when you're taking it into a rectangular position, or when you're just taking the photo in the regular portrait position of the photo, basically putting the photo directly to the object. Now, where does this come in effect? This can come in effect landscape, which is quite self-explanatory. Let's say you're taking a very landscape area. Then you can go ahead and take that photo in that landscape area, and it will take lots of details and lots of objects in that photo. Let's say there's also a case that you're taking a photo of, let's say, 20 persons in a photo, and you're, let's say, a certain distance away. Let's say there's a way you cannot back away a further distance using that portrait position to take all the persons. Then you can switch to the landscape and you can accommodate all those persons in that photo. So in that case, you will not be missing out any persons in the picture, which happens majority of the times when person take photo. So in that case, using the landscape, you can make that adjustment, taking that landscape position, you can get everybody. So what this means basically is using portrait and landscape when required to use it. And that's something that most of us take for granted, is that we go ahead to a certain place, or we go ahead to take a picture of majority of persons, and we just go ahead and we just pick it up in the portrait position. We take the photo. When the photo comes out, somebody is missing out on that photo. Then make the small adjustment, turn it into the landscape, and I assure you that everybody will be in that photo, depending on the distance you are to the person or away from the person. So that's another thing you gotta take a look into when taking that photo. Pick it if you want to do it in the portrait or the landscape. All right, so the fifth and final thing that I actually say you should take a look into is your angles. Like, what angles are you taking the photo in? So there are cases that most persons, or majority of persons, goes up to the camera, or goes up, let's say you're taking a picture of the camera, let's say you're taking a picture of an object or a person. You just go up and you just snap a picture. Why not make a small adjustment in changing the angles to make the photo look different than what you usually do, or what a person's usually do, or a person that just take up a photo usually do? Why not take it and go a little bit to the right, go a little bit to the left, change it from a straight on angle to a little downward angle, or to an upward angle? Why not make those small angle adjustments and see how much that can make a difference in your photo, that can actually improve your photo? It goes same way for, let's say you're doing product, landscape, whichever position that you always go ahead and take the photo, change it to a different angle or position, and make that small adjustments into an upward or downward position, and you will get awesome photos depending on what type of photography field you're doing. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. These are my few tips that I have actually done in the past that I recommend that you can also do in this present time, and that can also increase you if you're going to go ahead to take photography very serious, or if you're going to go ahead and buy a camera. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share this video with a photographer, with a friend, with a family, or someone who really just want to go ahead and take great photos using their phone. And guys, see you in the next video. I hope you have a good one.